Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics on Channels Television. I'm Kayode Kikyolu in Lagos. But first, the big political stories at this hour. The proposal for rotational presidency, among other constitutional amendments, have failed to scale second reading in the House of Representatives. Following the brazen attack by terrorists on Nigerian soldiers, the senators asked the military to urgently redeploy personnel and advanced equipment to Borno and Yobe states. And the People's Democratic Party kicks against the defection of 3 senators in Kebbi State to the APC, describes it as betrayal to the party that gave them a platform when the APC rejected them. Let's begin with the end of the road for the bill seeking to provide for the principle of rotational presidency among the 6 geopolitical zones, at least in this round of constitutional amendment. Well, that bill is part of 7 constitution amendment bills that failed to scale second reading in the House of Representatives. Well, the bills were lumped together and put to vote as lawmakers voted against them. Our National Assembly correspondent, Terry Kumi, reports.
The Deputy Speaker presides over the first plenary session of the week in the Green Chamber. The House delves into the order of the day with 7 constitution amendment bills listed for second reading. All the bills are thrown open to a debate. However, the one which seeks to provide for the principle of rotation of the offices of the President and Vice President among the 6 geopolitical zones of the country sparks a debate. Those in support of the bill believe it will address the issue of marginalization.
In Nigeria today, states, zones like Northeast have been marginalized, and they need to be given fair treatment. And zones like my brother Honorable Falake zones have been, so far they have spent 12 years as president, and we believe that's enough for Southwest.
If this is entrenched in the Constitution, it will bring justice and fairness, because let's not deceive ourselves. There are some zones, if it is left open, a certain particular zone in this country will continue to dominate.
For all the lawmakers, the demerits outweigh the merits.
If that geopolitical zone has its own shot, the next one will wait for about 48 years. Regardless of the quality of people we'll have in that zone, this country will lose that opportunity of bringing people that will render public service for this country just because of regional affiliation.
If we come to the Southwest, I'm from Oyo State, who takes it? Is it Ogun? Is it Ondo? Is it Ekiti?
Mr. Speaker, I implore that we do not set a dangerous precedent and put it in the Constitution without due diligence, which I'm sure the Constitutional Review Committee will do so. But while it tackles injustice, I must agree with the previous speaker. This could really set us back. And finally, unfortunately, we are but human beings. What happens in the event of death?
All 7 bills are put to vote at once, leading to their death.
For it to progress, say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it.
Efforts are then made to save some of the bills.
My request, my appeal, is that I move that we rescind that decision and the question be put per bill. If we reject one bill and reject another, we might find one that we want to accept.
Let us rescind by tomorrow and take care of all this one after the other.
Now, following the directive of the Deputy Speaker who presided over plenary, the 7 bills would likely be reconsidered on the following legislative day if the chairman of the House Committee on Business and Rules lists them as motion on notice for rescission to allow members vote on these bills separately. And this is because members had specific interest on specific bills as debated on the floor during plenary. From the National Assembly, Terry Ikumi, Channels Television News.
Well, security was a focus for the Red Chamber as the Senate is asking the military to urgently redeploy personnel and advanced equipment to Borno and Yobe states. And this resolution followed renewed insurgent attacks in the northeast region, including the killing of soldiers in Martet town of Mongno local government area on Monday, May the 12th, and subsequent assault early Tuesday on Gajiram, the headquarters of Gazai local government area. In a motion raised by the Senate Chief Whip, Tahir Mongono, lawmakers noted that while two-thirds of the local government areas in Borno were once under Boko Haram control, collaborative efforts between the Nigerian military and civilian joint task force had successfully reclaimed the territories. The Senate has asked the federal government to ensure the inclusion of a representative of each local government council and area council of the FCT in the deliberation of the Federation Account Allocation Committee as well. Our National Assembly correspondent Gloria Umezoke reports.
At the start of plenary on the first legislative day of the week, the chamber quickly filled up with lawmakers as visitors, including the APC national chairman and the governor of Kebbi State, are admitted to witness another round of defections from the PDP to the APC, a now seemingly recurring pattern. They include Senators Adamu Aliero, Yahaya Abdullahi and Garba Meidoki, all from Kebbi State.
The leader of the Senate, you are now to play your role by moving them down to the side of the ruling party, where they will be better placed to help to develop their constituency. And
say that for us in the APC, this is a very wonderful development. And for all those who are also keenly watching political developments, be rest assured that at the end of the day, this can only be for the good and greatness of Nigeria.
Separately, in a move to advance transparency in the nation's revenue sharing formula, a motion sponsored by the Deputy Senate President seeks an all-inclusive FAC representation to ensure constitutional compliance.
Paying the local government councils through the states of the Federation has not worked. Therefore, justice demands that local government councils' allocations from the Federation account should henceforth be paid directly to the local government councils. It has become imperative that a representation of local government councils be per state and area councils be nominated to represent their interest at FAC.
Interests surge as the motion is immediately debated.
Because when they sit at Federation account and get what they know what they are getting, let them not go back with 3 times allocation and they tell the people that what we got is 1 allocation. This country deserves a lot of transparency.
As governors in 1999, we didn't even know what the local government council chairman were getting because they were getting their money directly from the Federation account.
Insecurity is another thorny issue that becomes the nodal point in another motion raised by the Chief Whip.
Worried that the insurgents have employed more modern technology, including the use of drones, to unleash attacks on villages and communities in the states.
Urge the military high command to swiftly redeploy sufficient personnel to the northeast and ensure they are adequately equipped with modern technology and otherwise to effectively address the resurgence of Boko Haram.
The Senate now resolves to double down on its oversight over the armed forces and ongoing national security concerns. From the National Assembly, Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Kebbi State has been responding to that defection, stating that defection of 3 senators will not harm the party, as it affirms that it remains strong and resilient in the state. The state chairman of the party, Usman Bello Suru, made this known during a press conference held at the PDP Secretariat in Birnin Kebbi. Well, he expressed disappointment over what he described as betrayal by the senators. And he emphasized that the PDP stood by them when the APC denied them tickets in the 2023 elections. He noted that the senators left the party without any substantial reason, only to return to the same APC that, according to him, has subjected the public to hardship and soaring living costs. Well, Mr. Suru further stated that the defections were not in the interest of the people, but were motivated by personal ambition, and described the move as an act of ingratitude. Well, we're going to get more insights, really. Again, more defections taking place. If it's not from the PDP to the APC, it's from the Labour Party to the PDP. There's so much defections going around now, and very little input from the people who put these lawmakers or representatives in power. So we'll feel the pulse of one of the political parties that has been hit by defections and also internal conflicts, which has been another reason that these lawmakers or representatives say they are moving to another party, jumping ship in essence. So we have joining us on the program the Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party, Mr. Arabambi. He joins us live from Belkuta, the Ogun State capital. You're welcome to Lunchtime Politics, Mr. Arabambi.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
I know that your party has also had a taste of defection. You didn't have as much numbers, but some of the ones you had moved in some states. So speak to us about how you're also receiving this move across party lines. If it's not from PDP to APC, it's from Labour Party to the PDP in some climes. How is this affecting your role as opposition, for you, that is?
Well, thank you very much. I think everybody has their individual opinion, but as far as I'm concerned, if you go into a general election and a particular party rejected you, at their primary, that means you are not worthy. If another party now gave you the opportunity, and yet the people voted for you against, the other particular candidate produced by your former party, and at the end of the day, you still have the audacity to now return back to your vomit, the party that earlier rejected you. I don't think there should be any celebration. Why did they reject you ab initio? It means that rejecting you and the people voting for you means a lot, to the electorate. So it's not going to have any effect, in the general election, because ab initio you are supposed to contest under Party A. Party A rejected you. Party B took you. Yet the people voted for you in Party B. So for stomach infrastructure, you now decided to go and jump ship into the other party because they are now the ruling party. You will have the electorate to contend with. Though it is their decision, but I know they will have electorate to contend with in 2027. They will have the electorate to contend with. So we are not bothered. And for those, in Labour Party that ran away, you see, all of them, I would say they have absconded because they were not even like those for the PDP or APC, because those ones, they are almost at par. In our own, we gave them tickets almost for free because they were like a political, refugee. You understand? I mean, political orphan, that will now create the Labour Party like a refugee camp for us to save their dying, their dying political career. But for this benefit to them, no problem. We are not, going to be perturbed by that. They choose to abscond from Labour Party to party that cannot even give them tickets. That cannot give them ticket. But if they say that's where they want to go, free, they are free. 2027 around the corner, the electorate will decide for all and sundry in the election.
Well, your party has been a beneficiary of defections, particularly in Abia State. It has lost in Enugu State. And overall, I think the APC has been the biggest winner in this defection game as it stands. My question was particularly if this affects your role as the opposition. And I'll tell you why. For some people, they see the APC, PDP, and Labour Party as one party. So they call it PDLPAPC or something of sorts, right? So they see the parties as the same. There's no difference in ideology. It's just basically people changing jerseys from time to time. They leave the APC to the PDP. When they get the ticket and the position, they go back to the APC, or they go to the It's just basically the same of the same. So what do you have to say to the people who say that really there's nothing different? It's just the same of the same.
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead, Mr. Arabambi.
Yes. Well, as far as we are concerned, we are still performing our role as opposition. I get it.
Yes, please go ahead. All right, Mr. Arabambi appears to be having a little hitch with the connection. We'll try to.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Arabambi. We lost you momentarily
Yes,
there,
I
but
said
please go ahead.
we are still performing our role as opposition, and that will be the problem we have with most of the defectors and the people that we took into our party. They are coming on an ideology from the PDP and APC, and the ideology could not find a common ground without our own ideology, because we are the pro-poor, we are pro-poor, we are pro-ordinary Nigerians, but most of them, they are illicit in nature, and that has greatly affected their stay in Labour Party, and these are also encourages most of this capture, say capture, party capture, internal agreement that we have in the Labour Party. For me, opposition is not about you just criticizing the administration. You must also provide the solution. When you criticize them, you must provide the solution. Do not forget, Labour Party was at the forefront calling for the sack of the Women Director of NNPC. I was on various TV channels calling for the sack because I know the man is incompetent. We also called for the sack of the CBN governor, and we are also calling for the sack of the Minister of Power. You see, so for you to know that we know what we are doing, because he was also not performing, he wants to run for governor in Oyo. He can just leave that and go for a governorship rather than allowing our national grid to collapse over how many times in a year, and yet they are not going to find a solution. I think a proper person should also be put, like a square peg in a round hole. So these are some of the things we have been doing to this administration. When they do well, we have commended them even over their ability to pay, the loan that the president paid. If a president try to exit the loan like the former president did, you need to give him kudos for that. Somebody will not pay Nigerian debt, and all you now do as an opposition, just flaunt yourself on air, and you now started abusing the person. No, you must give them kudos wherever they perform well, and wherever they don't perform, you will criticize them and give them a solution. I don't believe it's all the ranting around by certain individual who criticizes government without any solution. That is not, opposition. So it's not going to affect our value as opposition. Even all of them, let them go. Our opposition value is still about making life meaningful to the ordinary Nigerian.
Right.
Making life meaningful, you understand, to the generality of the masses. It's not just about wanting to bring down, a constantly, elected administration because you want them to rule. That is not part of our own.
Right,
And I don't believe that should be an opposition.
Speaking of SAC and the calling for SAC, those within your party, and I'm talking about leaders, the governor of Abia State, Mr. Peter Obi, and also the caretaker committee, well, I've told Mr. Abure to step aside, that he's no more fit to do that job. And he has, and he has in turn fired back that if he opens his mouth, that Mr. Peter Obi, the governor of Abia State, will be exposed in that sense. So if there is indeed anything to expose, if there is anything to expose, why are you guys hiding it? Why are you aiding and abetting in that sense? If there's anything wrong, why don't you put it out there in the open, for the good of Nigerians, for the good of transparency and accountability?
Well, thank you very much. Just like the chairman said in his video, that he has his reason because he felt some good, the bad and the ugly, he's the father of all. But remember, Benicio, from the camp of Alhaji Lamidi Apapa, we have raised this issue against Peter Obi. If you remember very well, I was on your station several times, and other arrives, and co, where we shouted on top of our voices that there is corruption in Labour Party. But do not forget, this matter went to court.
It wasn't just about Mr. Obi. Pardon me, Mr. Sarah. It wasn't just.
When this matter
you
went to
also
court,
indicted
do not forget that.
Mr. Abure then, just to be clear. It wasn't just Mr. Obi. You also indicted Mr. Abure.
That's what I said.
That's what
I said. I said we went to court.
Right.
That time, do not forget we got a restraining order against Ebaisa Julius Abure. Do not forget that time. We got a restraining order in Abuja. It was Abure did not even utter a word during that time. It was Mr. Peter Obi Agona Lesotho that said we procure that judgment. We hired Chief Onoja, Ogu Onoja, an SCN of repute to prove that case, but they, all of them, they came together in support of Barrister Julius Abure, all of them together. And they now went to a federal court, they went to Court of Appeal, and we lost from their papa side. And because we are law-abiding, we decided to shift our sword. Okay, if you took a matter to the court and the court said, no, you are wrong, this is not what you are supposed to do, this is the way this thing is supposed to do, you have to, respect the judiciary. But something is very fishy. We are now shocked that even after they went to court, because they said we procure our own judgment, I don't know whether they now procure their own, that now, disputed the entire matter. But now I am surprised. The same Governor Lesotho, the same Peter Obi, we now come on air to say that, Abure is fraudulent, that Abure is a fraud, and that Abure is a criminal. I think this is where I didn't get them right. And our position is that they said Abure was not a fraudulent person because her papa was a Yoruba man. But today, Abure is also not from the Southeast. They say he's a fraudulent person. They need to come out clear to Nigeria because we knew what transpired. And part of what transpired that Abure said is going to open up to Nigeria is this. One, the 4 accounts they open, we know from their papa, faction, that account was not properly registered with those banks. He uses his influence to manipulate the party and even the chairman and secretary out, of the campaign by putting Mrs. Aisha Yesufu and Pastor Itua Gadalo as a signatory to that account in defiance to the letter given to them by the party. That's number one. Number two, during the upload of agent to the portal, Labour Party, under those people that Peter Obi brought, failed to upload 54,000 polling unit agents, and that contributed to our failure. They now conspire within themselves to save themselves and to now ridicule the party. They now went to the town to be telling everybody that the judiciary rig, INEC rig, Tinubu rig, and APC rig. None of them rig us out because out of 189, if you have missed 54,000 polling units, you have lost at initial. Number three, they didn't even pay the remaining agents that were there for them. Therefore, when they were approaching the court, they were unable to file the Formisio 8A, that is the result at the polling unit. They were unable to file the written witness, the statement of their witnesses on oath. They were unable to file them into the court. They now put everything on the party. Now they are asking that Abure must go. Well, and Abure said, no, there are things that people did that I decided to keep quiet, but we have exposed them at Benicio that the camp of Peter Obi,
so you agree
they
that
were very not correct, they were very fraudulent toward the way they approached the election, and it wasn't the fault of the party. But they need to tell Nigeria, in essence, what is the problem with Abure and what is the problem with Abapa, and that is the only way we can have this issue resolved.
So if you're saying that Mr. Abure witnessed all of this and kept quiet, so he aided and abetted in that sense. But I also want to put on record and remind you, just to put all the cards on the table, that it was you that was following up that case against Mr. Abure, and some of the allegations you had against him was perjury, very weighty allegations, forgery, criminal conspiracy. So you had tagged him a fraud, and you were trying to at least follow that case through in the courts, right? But the tables have turned.
We lost. Our matter was thrown out. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying that
the matter was thrown out.
So if that's the case that you pegged on Mr. Abure and by extension Mr. Obi and others, doesn't that absolve them as well? If you're saying that you lost that case and he's been discharged in that sense? No,
that is what I'm saying. We were the one that went to court, and the court dismisses that matter. But they are now saying that Abure is a criminal. He committed forgery, perjury. Where is that case? Who said it? I was the only person as a member of WC in that suit, even up to Supreme Court. So where did they get their own suit from? Nobody will now be hiding under a matter I prosecuted in court and failed. And they told us that they don't want us. They should not be the one who will not be asking us, come, don't worry, we are sorry. Let us now use this case to push Abure out. Our matter is that when the court has spoken, my dear brother, we don't go out to, to disparage the judiciary. It is not, my own style. Because as you see me, I am a professional litigation. I mean, a litigator because I know I've been involved in over 600 cases in my lifetime. So I don't go to court to say, oh, this judge is that. Once my lord, the justice said, oh, this is the way this case is supposed to go, your matter is about dismissed. End of the road. No problem. You go and start your new life. But the allegation they are talking, I'm asking Governor Alessote and Peter Obi, who are the originators of this matter? They were in court against us.
Well, Mr. Arabambi.
They hired Alex gentlemen and next year to prosecute that case for them, and we lost. So which case are they now bringing against Julius Abure?
Well,
and that was why the man said he has a lot of things to say against them. So
and
let
that
us
is
wait.
the case. That
it's
is
going
the
to be
issue as
a
well.
court that is full of mystery.
All right. We have to thank you so much. Just to state that if there's any case of malfeasance or corruption, the onus is on Mr. Abure to speak and not to hide it. But we're totally out of time. This is a case that we continue to follow within the Labour Party, and we have to thank you so much for your time. We've been speaking with Mr. Abayomi Arabambi, who's the Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party. Thank you once again for your time, and wish you the very best.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon.
Well, let's tell you that the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, is joining global law enforcement leaders, security experts, and policy influencers at this year's World Police Summit in Dubai. Well, the high-level international three-day security engagement is looking at issues beyond the badge, finding ways to envision the next era of policing, and it's expected that this platform will advance dialogue, partnerships, and innovations in global law enforcement, by extension, Nigeria's law enforcement. And according to a statement by the Force Public Relations Officer, Olumiyiwa Adejobi, highlighted that the IGP's presence underscores Nigeria's commitment to international cooperation, modernization of policing strategies, and intelligence-led law enforcement. Well, you've been served. That's the program for this afternoon. Thank you for watching. I'm Kayode Okikelu, to stay with Channels Television for all of your breaking and political stories. Goodbye.